Suzanne and Mark Luallin were enjoying a typical life in Conway with their 4 active daughters. They stayed busy and felt their family of 6 was complete. But God had a different plan, and in came the littles. For embracing God's plan for them to adopt 4 children from China, each with a serious medical challenge, and for inspiring a community with their compassion and devotion to their children. Suzanne and Mark Luallin are our 2018 Inspirational Hometown Heroes. It all began when Suzanne, a teacher of students with visual impairments, was emailing a colleague about a little boy in China with an eye condition.
And at the end of the email, she said, "Hey, by the way, this little guy needs a home." And so she sent me a picture, and that's when God really just started moving my heart for Will.
That weekend, Suzanne and her daughters tried to convince Mark to adopt the little boy, but he was not persuaded.
That Sunday night, I put the picture down beside his chair and I said, I hope that you can really honestly answer to God that this is not in your heart. And I left the picture beside him and went to bed, got up the next morning. We didn't have a conversation. I went to work, took the girls to school, and about 2 o'clock, I specifically remember getting this phone call. It said, "Are you Suzanne Luallin?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "We're with All God's Children, and your husband has put a down payment down on this little boy." I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to need to call you back. And so when I called Mark, I'm like, "What happened? What are you doing?" And he said, "You went to bed," and it was almost as if God himself said to me, "This is your son. Go get him."
The adoptions of Will in 2007, Sam in 2009, Zeke in 2013, and Maggie in 2015 were joyous events for the Luallins. And at the center of each adoption was a beloved child with a serious medical condition: blindness caused by Norrie syndrome, heart failure requiring a pacemaker, Williams syndrome with developmental and health problems, and a long battle against a life-threatening brain tumor. The Luallins are now a complete family of 10, with their 4 older daughters, nicknamed the Bigs, and their 4 younger children, the Littles. And as the Littles grow, each of their unique personalities is a special gift to their family.
Will is a wonderful musician. He's funny, and he brings humility to our house.
Sam's just the type of boy that you can count on for anything. I mean, he may grumble a little bit about something, but he'll always do it to make a difference, because he is a caretaker. He's just like his older sisters. He's a caretaker for the 3 younger ones, because whenever we drop the 3 boys off at school, he's got his backpack, he may have Will's French horn, and he may have Will and Zeke trying to corral all 3 of them into the school and everything. Sam will do anything.
And then there is Zeke next. And we call him Zeke because that's kind of what fits him. And he is just happy. That is what goes with his syndrome, the happy elf syndrome. He's just happy. I mean, he has 0 care in the world. He's just happy. That's what he brings to our house. Like, just no worry. Then there's Maggie. And oh my goodness, what does Maggie sass? She's totally sassy. She's a survivor. I've seen her at her very worst, where we thought we were going to have to say goodbye to her. And we've seen her boss her brothers around from the couch, pointing to them.
And they listen to her.
She's really compassionate. And even when she was so sick, she would always say to us, "You okay, Mom?" When she was throwing up and stuff, "Yep, I'm okay." And so she's just the little cherry on top. the blessing that they bring is not getting caught up in ourselves. Like when you have them, some days you realize to yourself, like, this probably isn't what a normal empty nester couple does. And then you realize to yourself, like, I wouldn't want it any other way. Because they just kind of show you, like, what really is important in life. And some of the things that we get caught up with or whatever. And I think that's where you realize to yourself, I'm just really blessed.
While many of us consider Suzanne and Mark our heroes, they are thankful for a whole village of heroes. So many, they can't name them all. Their family, friends, and church, the communities of Conway and Lebanon, the Conway school system, and Lebanon Early Education Program. They're especially grateful to their daughters Hannah, Abby, Macy, and Riley for doing whatever needs to be done for the littles, and to Mark's sister Kim Agee, who dropped everything and gave up a year of her life to help care for Maggie.
To me, Mark and Suzanne are definitely heroes and certainly deserve this recognition. I know they won't ever agree that they are, because they're just doing what they do, but I'm certain that they probably saved 4 kids' lives. And if they had room, they would probably do it as long as they're able. I think the center of what brings Mark and Suzanne to do what they do is the fact that they have faith in God and they completely trust Him that whatever He leads them to do, He'll carry them through.
For embracing God's plan for them to adopt 4 children from China, each with a serious medical challenge, and for inspiring a community with their compassion and devotion to their children, Suzanne and Mark Luallin are our 2018 Inspirational Hometown Heroes.